All right, welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about a few PS2 hidden gems. Now, right off the bat, let me tell you that to me, I think they're hidden gems. Maybe you've heard of them before, and that's great. But I think that they're obscure enough that maybe not a lot of the general people have probably heard of it. And when I say general people, I mean like people just getting into collecting PS2 stuff, or people who maybe just dabble in it a little bit, right? So today I'm going to talk about three PS2 hidden gems, just three, because I want to keep it nice, short, simple, sweet, to the point. Now I'm going to start off with the first one. And the first one I put first on purpose. This is in no particular order. I'm kind of going in order of obscurity. Like, to me, the first game I'm going to show you is the least obscure. And then we're going to go down to the third one, which I think is the most obscure, which I kind of just stumbled upon on like complete accident, and I thought was really cool. So we'll get to that soon. All right, so for the first one, we're going to start off with this game. And that game is Primal. Ignore the sticker residue. I need to clean that. Now, Primal is a really cool game. They focused a lot on like voice acting and making it more cinematic. And it's really metal influenced, and I love that. The main character is this chick right here. And basically, she can transform into different like demonic forms based upon like where you're going. There's all these different like worlds. It's very cool. A darker atmosphere. You have this little sidekick where he's right here, Scree. He's this little like gargoyle dude. You can play as him, and you kind of have to balance playing as both characters who have like certain abilities they can do at certain times. But the real draw, I think, for this game, it's kind of like an action adventure game, and you change forms to do things. You could battle. The main draw, I think, is the voice acting, the atmosphere, and the metal influences. I thought it was really cool, especially the opening cinematic. Oh man, it's really cool. But definitely, I think it's worth your time, especially if you're like a metal fan, or if you like adventure or darker atmosphere style games. It's really cool. It's something a little bit different to change the pace. And I'm telling you, when I say like they focused on voice acting, it's really good. Like they hired professional voice actors, and they really focused on like having the people together and working on the whole script and making sure it flowed, and just the way everything kind of comes together. It feels very natural, and it definitely stands out in terms of cinematic quality and the way that they're presenting the game to you in that aspect. The gameplay is not like anything super brand new or groundbreaking, but like I said, it's the atmosphere, the listening to the voice acting, and the story elements that really draw you in, and you're just like, wow, this is a really cool experience. So definitely worth your time. Try out Primal. All right, number two, I actually mentioned in my top RPG lists, the top 8 PS2 RPGs. Check that out if you haven't seen that yet. And that's because I feel like it does not get mentioned enough. In fact, I barely see it that often. And I guess I can understand, because it's not like the greatest RPG, and it kind of came out in the shadow of a few other RPGs. So at the time, so maybe it didn't get the recognition it deserved. But it's certainly not terrible. And it definitely, I think it's got the status for a hidden gem. I think it's great, especially if you're like a big collecting fan of like Pokemon style games. Jade Cocoon 2. Maybe it's because the artwork is cool, but like I think that if it had something that stood out a little bit more, maybe that would have gotten some more people in to buy into it. But this game is really cool. I love the opening cinematic. The art style was great. Everything is really awesome, especially like I said, if you're a fan of like monster collecting games, like Pokemon or something. It's similar in that aspect, especially if you play the first Jade Cocoon on PlayStation 1. It's really cool. There is a character, their voice acting might be viewed as slightly annoying. It didn't bother me. I was fine with it. If you're into anime, you like this game. Here, let me show something. Let's see if I can get some artwork going here to show you. Like, take a look at this. Like, just like, the art style, it's pretty cool. It's like, it's unique. Like the character designs, and the world is pretty cool. Everything is kind of self-contained. There's different elements for things, for each of the we'll call them monsters, for you to collect. The actual collecting aspect itself was definitely different. You have to like go through and you collect these little things that they bring back, and you have to go through this whole trial system, and it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. And the actual battle system is more of like a roulette style that revolves. And I think the best thing I can compare it to is, I think on like the 3DS in like a Pokemon game, there was one of those where you have like 3 Pokemon that kind of rotate and revolve around, and you can do battles. This is way bigger. I think it might be like, is it 8? I want to say it's like 8 at a time on your roulette. It's a big circle, I know that. And the story was pretty cool and like lighthearted and cheerful in the beginning. It's very anime. The animation is honestly incredible. I really, really enjoyed the art style. The music's great. It's a nice, different RPG if you are looking for something different or you want to play an RPG and you're kind of tapped out and you're like, okay, I've seen all the RPGs, maybe it's time for something new, something different. I think this is perfect. Like I said, especially if you're a Pokemon fan, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so I know. This is great. Jade Cocoon 2, check it out. It's awesome, trust me. Especially, like I said, that opening cinematic, it's really good, gets you right in the mood, especially if you're an anime fan. It's like, all right, cool. I know what to expect. This is going to be good. So go in with an open mind and just don't expect to be like the best RPG you ever played in your life, but like be expecting for like a good time and just be open-minded. Go in, be prepared, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Jade Cocoon 2. Now this last game is definitely the most obscure. I don't even remember how I possibly stumbled upon it, and I think I actually stumbled upon the first game for the PlayStation 1, which I was really intrigued. I was so intrigued, I didn't even play it. I just watched the whole thing on YouTube. The whole first game, I watched it because I was like, wow, this concept is weird. The art style is weird. It's really dark. It's really kind of creepy, kind of crazy. So if you're into like dark or like obscure stuff or like darker anime, I think you'll really enjoy this series. Like, okay, I guess it's like 2 games. It's not really a series. Duology, is that what you call 2 games? Anyways, Galerians Ash. Now, the first game is called Galerians. It's on PS1. I watched, like I said, I didn't play that one. I watched the whole thing, and it blew me away. I thought it was really cool. Not so much the gameplay. That's not what this is about. Like the second game, even this game, the gameplay is nothing to write home about. It's passable at best. It's okay. Sometimes it's pretty clunky. But the atmosphere, the art, the weirdness is so worth your time. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Basically, like, the Galerians, like, they have, like, the best way I can describe it to you is, like, psychic abilities, and each person is, like, very themed to something specific that you're about to have to take care of. The main character, his whole thing is he has these different psychic abilities you can use depending on these, like, pills that you're taking that were, like, specifically crafted. And, man, it's so weird, and the art style is so different and out there. Like, man, just take a look at this. I'm gonna bust it open. I'm gonna show you in real time. We're gonna open one of these manuals. Like, just look at that. Like, look at that. It blew. Like when I bought this and I looked through this, I was like, oh, what is this? Like, just the art style. Like, check out these characters, man. Like, they're so dark and different and weird, and I like that kind of stuff. Dark, different, weird, right? Like, it's just crazy stuff, and it's one of those things that draws you in because of that weirdness, the art style, right? All this different things. I really like that. And the main character, his name is Rion, and I don't know. It's just something about it really drew me into the story, into I think it's the atmosphere, the experience of the game is something very wholly different from things that I've played in the past. Experience, yes, you're like, darker, weird, obscure anime stuff, or like books. But a game like this was so different. The best thing I can compare it to is maybe like Resident Evil or Parasite Eve, like the PlayStation 1 games, but that's like not even really a close comparison. I'm just trying to get you in the somewhat mindset of what you can expect. I guess survival horror style gameplay, but like not at the same time. It's so different, and you just got to experience it. And like I said, the art style is enough to want to go in, and the weirdness and the story. It's so dark, so crazy, so cool. Definitely check out Galerians Ash. It's worth your time, I promise. Well, the atmosphere, the gameplay, you could find better, but that's okay. This is good. So those are just 3 really quick little hidden gems that maybe you could check out. And like I said, the first one, like Primal, I don't even know if you can consider this a hidden gem, maybe a hidden-er gem, but the other 2 I definitely would classify as hidden gems. You barely hear about Jade Cocoon 2, at least I don't. And Galerians Ash, I stumbled upon this by complete accident, but I'm so glad I did because I love that kind of weird, dark stuff, and that was great. It really tickled that little obscure itch. So definitely check those guys out, and I think you're gonna have a great time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.